Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to jump onto Reef. So I've not done Reef for a few days. I've been really busy. I do want to keep in touch with Reef. I've just been so busy, and obviously I've not even got like half the content out that I want to. To be fair, I've got to try and speed up the process of getting these videos out. But once again, thank you for your continued support across the board here, the channel, everything you're doing to contribute towards the growth of CoinsKid here. It's fantastic. It's amazing, and the comments that I receive across the board as well. It's really, really good. And I'm glad people are learning in the space as well, obviously, as making money. It's all good. So with Reef then, we've got that particular target. I don't know if you've seen the last video on Reef, but we was obviously targeting this V-shaped bottom here, and we had this recovery, and I think we had a target where we had off this base here, and we said we were going to push on, and look at that, boom, perfect. So for anyone that took that trade, because obviously you come up, you've hit resistance and then you go long, and that was a fantastic trade for those that you took that trade, and that was a whopping 12% trade there, so that's great. And obviously as you've gone up there, you've hit a level of resistance, and we'll look at that in a moment. But then what you want to see obviously is where you roll over. If you roll, it's very, very healthy to roll over, by the way. Please do remember that you do need to see yourself roll over, because you get too extended, okay? And the more you get extended, the harder you come back down, and then you start to fall through previous resistance as support. It becomes resistance again. So that's how it works. You get through the EMAs, you fall back on them as support, you hold them as support, and it's all groover. And you can see here you've actually bounced off this previous level of resistance, okay, which was the neckline of the V-shaped bottom here that we had going on for Reef, and you're now back testing it as support. It's good, it's good. You had that little wick there, come back up, but now you're getting the closes of the candles there, you're getting them on this level of resistance, this level of support, sorry. What you don't want to see here for Reef, okay, and you're potentially on the cusp of it, is this bearish cross. Because the bearish cross will actually, on the EMAs there, you see where the bearish cross, because you literally just formed a bullish cross, started get going again, but now the price action's dragged the bearish cross down, and you are on the cusp of it, okay. If it does drag the price down anymore, and the EMA's down, okay, you will form that bearish cross, which will contribute to you losing this level of support and pushing you down, and then potentially making a low. Right, you will make another low, and then you start to make a lower low, and this will look more of a rollover and a downtrend. Do you see that? Because you will start making these lower lows in this sort of correction that you've got going on here. This was good, because this actually made a high, and we did say we did need to make that high greater than that one, because what it is, you've gone down, okay, you've corrected, and as long as you can start making lower lows and higher highs, you see that you started to move up, So right now you've got this sort of thing going on, okay. It's basically a reverse on a new sort of trend after a correction. You've got this sort of channel that's forming, okay. So you've gone down, made a low, and you're sort of creeping up, and hopefully if you can get the bounce here, you sort of forming something like this, and then you're creeping up. But there is also another pattern that's emerging as well. If you zoom out on the daily time frame, and I'll show you in a minute, you can, just before I do jump to the daily, you can see you are getting bought up here, and there's a bit of support there, and hopefully this thing that we talk about is the 4-hourly EMA slingshot retest off a bullish cross. You see that you've got bullish cross, drags you down for the slingshot. You get the retest, basically a repel, okay, where the EMA does this and that line does that, and then you'll see slingshots you up to get through this level of resistance right there. So that's something we need to target, and we do need to see that on Reef, okay. The fact that you are holding this level of support right now is good. You've had 1, 2, 3 touches of it, and it's holding, it's good. So, and you know we're in a bull market, okay, and you know Bitcoin's marched on and made that all-time high, so hopefully, you know, we get some kind of force here, and some kind of the bull stepping and some sort of backing to push Reef up and get us through this level of resistance right now. If you do see Reef move up again, you need to see yourself making higher highs, so you do need to see yourself breaching this high here for Reef, okay. Basically that you need to get above 0.42, and from here, if you do get this slingshot, okay, this EMA retest where you get the repel from here, that could be a mega trade of 10%. So that's awesome. That could be a nice little juicy long trade there of 10%, just up to that level of resistance, and then hopefully get through it and back test the support. So I'm just going to show you some on the daily time frame right now, okay. So if you look on the daily time frame, Cardano's done a very similar thing to this, right? Because I was looking at Cardano and thinking, oh yeah, this looks about a little bit like Reef, where it's sort of gone up and it's made the high, then another high, and it's sort of like failing to make any more highs. So it effectively looks like a downtrend, and you start to do this. Do you see that? But what you do, as long as you keep making higher lows, okay, as long as you keep making these higher lows, then it doesn't matter about the lower highs, okay, because what it is, you're coming into an ascending triangle. You're coming into a horizontal triangle, and that is basically a continuation pattern. Do you see this? So effectively, you got something like that. We'll tidy it up. That's not necessarily very pretty. I would prefer to get a few more touches on that, but you can see you've got a level of support and you've got a level of resistance right there, and you've hit your head there. So as you're coming closer into this sort of triangle from an uptrend as well, in a bull market as well, you've come up into it. You're trading sideways, you're coiling up, you're springing up, okay, and you're moving closer and closer to this apex. You will potentially see a breakout. And what you're forming here as well on the daily time frame is this EMA retest. So it may get a little bit boring. You may see it go up, come down, go up, come down, and go up, come down. But you're forcing this EMA retest here. You are back testing the 55 and you are holding it as support. You've had a few wicks down there on that base, but you are holding it as support, so it's really good. But at the moment, you are under the daily 20 EMA, so you do need Reef to push up and get through that, because look what can happen to this particular trend line. If you start to fall out of it, you can see what can happen. You can effectively drop, and quite drastically as well, because obviously these horizontal triangles can go to the bearish bias as well, and you will see that drop. So it's effectively something like this, where it's gone up and it's made that. So you could see a 30% correction there for Reef, or you could see a 30% pump from the apex there, which would take you up to that sort of area there, which is previous high, or a correction which would take you out of the apex down to that sort of level there. And we don't want that, because then you're rolling over and you're resetting everything, and then we've got to get the bull market going again for Reef. So do keep an eye on that, okay? We are trading into the apex of this particularly horizontal triangle. At the moment, relatively bearish on the daily. I'm not going to lie to you. You do need the 4 hourly to come in and save your ass, and obviously get that slingshot to propel you up. But hopefully, if you propel you up, okay, and you can sort of hit your head and get through this, you are starting to come up to this resistance line. You may see yourself come back down, effectively like this, okay? So you go up, break that, come back down, test support, resistance, before you get into the apex, and then you have that mega pump out up to the all-time high there for Reef. We are in a bull market, okay, and things do tend to go north in bull market. So, and you do go through these boring levels of consolidation. So that's effectively Reef, okay? That's basically Reef. I will try and keep you updated on Reef. You've got that little trade in there that I've just shown you, okay? If you can now get this slingshot, okay, you got that little long trade, and then again, if you was to lose this level of support now, I would effectively say that you're gonna march down towards that low and retest it at least. So if you was to lose this level of support, which currently sits at 047, is it? What is it? 037, sorry. So if you was to lose that level of support, then I would potentially open a little short trade down there with a little take profit of 11%, because you can see you are going to come down and test that low. Right, so that's basically Reef. I hope you enjoyed the update there on Reef. And again, I can just see another little pattern here forming. If you fail to sort of get on now and take out that high, yeah? If you don't take out that high and fail to take it out, you're going to roll over, and what you're forming is a head and shoulders pattern, okay, and that'll contribute towards that downturn as well. So yeah, you do need to march on now, prevent this EMA bearish cross, get the slingshot, push you up, take out that high, and then you're making these higher highs. Do you see that? And you're marching on towards this resistance level of this larger horizontal triangle on the daily time frame there, and fall back and obviously trade within the apex and get the breakout to the upside and smash that all-time high for Reef. Do take care, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that video, and stay strong, stay safe, and most importantly, stay tuned, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye bye.